Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Minecraft Mediumcore. In the last episode, we fought the dragon, and it actually went pretty well, so that's good. Before I talk before I talk about my plans for today's episode, I'd first like to just briefly touch on some of the events of the last 2 weeks, or 3 weeks, I suppose. Um, my last episode, in which I fought the Ender Dragon, I want to apologize for some of the noises. My microphone actually broke, so I didn't know that until afterwards. So the sound quality's kind of poop, and by kind of poop I mean really bad. But I got it fixed for this week. I got a new headset with built-in mic, so it's not perfect quality, but it's significantly better, and it's not gonna repeatedly blast out your eardrums when I press shift. So that's good. Um, and then that episode actually should have gone out a week prior to it, and I believe the original guy touched on this in his video the following day. But there is a missing episode of Medium Core because I had no internet. Couldn't upload because I had no internet. So I decided not to upload late or anything. I just skipped that week. So last week's episode came out a bit late. I'm sorry for that. But with all that out of the way, I can start getting to the point of today's episode. So now that I've killed the Ender Dragon, the End Islands are now cleared up for exploration, and that's what I want to do in this episode. I want to go through the End Islands, find a bunch of End cities, and get shulker boxes and hopefully an Elytra, because that is one thing I have been desperately lacking, is an Elytra and shulker boxes, because I have great uses for shulker boxes and Elytra, but I have neither. And I want them. I want them both. So hopefully I'll be able to get them today. But I'm not sure. I gotta start with the end islands. I actually did set up a little area for me to pearl through the thing, and I did find one end island already, and this is the loot I got from it. Not a lot. It was a very, very small one. It was literally one room. So that was kind of poopy. But yeah, but I have a purple chest set up now, so that's fun. So those were my exploits off camera, and now I'm going to hopefully find a bunch more. So yeah, I'm just gonna get started. Well, I'm finally back from the end, and I've got a good smattering of loot. The most valuable, of course, being in ELYTRA. I was able to find a rather large end city that had a boat. I was very lucky to find that. It was very, very far away, but I did find it eventually. So I did get an ELYTRA, which is good. I've been wanting one of those since the start. But yeah, other than that, I've got a ton of shulker shells, just some random bits I picked up, ender pearls, and then some armor pieces and some ingots. I repaired all my gear in the end with the little enderman hovel, and all that I really have left to do in this episode is get this Elytra better, because I want to get this Elytra better so I can actually start to use it, because the Elytra is something that'll be very helpful for me. It's just very helpful in general, but can't really just use a plain Elytra. It's just not good enough. It just simply isn't. It needs mending, it needs unbreaking, and it needs rockets. The rockets I won't have time to do in this episode, but I'll do that in the coming episodes. Build a better sugarcane farm as well as a creeper farm, so I can get lots of gunpowder, lots of sugarcane to make lots of paper, so I can make firework rockets. So that way I can have constant rocket-powered flight, and then I'll be really advancing in my world. So yeah, that's my goal to finish out this episode. And because of my villagers, that should be obtainable. I don't know if I have an unbreaking villager. I might have to get a book for that, but that's okay. I'll stick you in here for now. But yeah, just gonna sort out all my crap quick, because I got a lot of stuff. God, my frame rates are so bad, always coming back from the nether. And I got a lot of shulker shells, so I'm actually gonna use them to make shulker boxes instead of using them as a bottom row in my chests, because they are much more useful to me when they're, well, actually being used. Because I can use shulker boxes to A, improve my storage, and B, carry things around a lot easier, and C, organize. I am at a desperate lack of organization, and I would like that to be fixed. So yeah, with that being said, I'm gonna go work on getting that ELYTRA all fixed up, and I'll be right back when it is. Alright, I've got my ELYTRA completely set up and enchanted now. It was a very tedious process, and I completely forgot that you can't just straight enchant an ELYTRA, and I didn't want to go through the hassle of getting an Unbreaking 3 villager. And I already had an Unbreaking 2 book from fishing, so I just cycled through enchants until I got an Unbreaking 2 book, so I ended up disenchanting and re-enchanting the same piece of armor like 17 times. But I was able to get it, and I grabbed a mending book from the villager, and I've got it. Come fly with me with Unbreaking 3 and mending. So that is that all done. That is the ELYTRA all done. Once I get the rockets, I'll just be set to use that. But as for right now, it's as good as it can be. So, with that being said, I'm going to lead into what we're doing in the next episode. In the next episode, I want to improve my sugarcane farm, because right now my sugarcane farm, it's not pristine. It's lossless because of the way I've set it up, which is nice, but it does not produce a lot, which is why you can see I've extended this ladder very far down to y equals 10, and I've started digging, and it's going to be massive, which is why I did it all the way at the bottom, but I've just started digging. It's going to be a lot bigger than this. It's going to be a lot further that way and a lot taller. But I'm going to be making just a massive sugarcane farm, as lossless as I can possibly do without a lot of slime blocks, because I don't have a slime farm, which is something I'd like to do at some point, but I don't know where there are any slime chunks. So I'll have to find that out later. But I'm going to be building a massive sugarcane farm for the next episode. And then in the episode after that, I'm actually going to be building a creeper farm so I can get lots of gunpowder, which is something I've never done before. I've built mob farms before, but I've never actually built a creeper farm, so that'll be interesting. That'll be a new experience. That'll be fun. We can go on that roller coaster together. So, the next couple episodes will be interesting, all setting up so I can properly use the ELYTRA. And the creeper farm, I'm not going to build anywhere near my base, because I don't want to go through and light up all the caves that are over here, because then I have to dig into my beautifully pristine ground, and B, I don't want to risk it having a containment breach and blowing up my base, so that's building up here. And one last thing I'd just like to mention, before I sign off for this episode, is that my iron farm does work. I'm just really dumb and was standing too close to it. It's not extremely fast, but it's fast enough. So you can just kind of watch it. Yeah, it is still pumping out iron golems, so it does still work, which is good. And I think it's actually in the time I've been working around here, that's actually produced a decent amount of iron, because I think I had around a stack left in each chest. So I'm just going to do a quick iron check, and that'll be it for today's episode. Because I had thought this was broken, because every time I was trying to get iron from it, I wasn't getting iron. Because I was a moron and standing too close to it. Yeah, I've got an extra stack and a half over here, and a stack and a bit over here. So yeah, I'm just a fool. But I'm glad I was a fool, and I'm glad it wasn't broken. Because I like it when things are not broken. It's nice. But that's with that update and the ELYTRA done. This has been a strange episode because it hasn't been a lot recording wise, but there's been so much work behind the scenes and off camera. It's interesting 'cause the recording for this episode spanned about 2 weeks because of backlog, and yet I still feel like the recording itself was kind of lacking because I just did so much work off camera. But it is what it is. And that's all I'm going to do for today's episode of Mediumcore. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.